fans of the Horus Heresy, interesting conversion parts, and Repto-Amphibians. Thank you very much for joining me for a product review. And I'm going to start this video with a phyletic diversion. And that's because this parcel has arrived and we have some interesting stamps. So these are all from Poland, and we can see this one here is the 2021 Easter stamp, or one of them, I presume. This one here is from, that's from last year, that's from 2020, and that's to do with rail safety crossing. And then this final one here, there's a portrait of a chap, that is Kazimierz Gorski, and that's probably the best pronunciation my anglicised voice box can manage there, so apologies to Polish native speakers. But Gorski was a Polish football player and national team coach from many years ago. And the reason we have stamps from Poland is because we have a big box which has just arrived from Spellcrow Miniatures. What I'm going to be doing in today's video is having a look at some samples that have been sent to me by Spellcrow. So I picked most of these, I think, but there might be some other things I've dropped in there, perhaps some fungus. So it's going to be a bit of a voyage of discovery, as always with one of these boxes. So before we get going, these samples have been sent to me by Spellcrow for review. So you know me, you know what to expect from me. If they are good, I'm going to showcase them and I'm going to say they're good. If I find flaws or defects, I will point those out to you. But yeah, just something to be aware of when appraising this video and the opinions I offer. Right, allow us to get the kniff of opening. Do hope you are all well. In England, where I am, or part of the Atlantic archipelago, we've gone from near summer-like weather last week to positively wintry weather this week. So there's been some real movement in temperature. Right. Oh my goodness me, there is a lot of stuff in this box. Yeah, can you see it all? Wow. Whoa. Okay. I guess we'll just have to tuck into this and go through it bit by bit. What I'll do is I'll describe it as we go. I will try to use the correct product name. If not, I might invent something, in which case, here-ish, I will put the actual product code or product name that Spellcrow has for these particular products to at least try to do them a semblance of justice with accurately describing these samples. I'm intrigued by these boxes. We've got 1, 2, 3 of these boxes, and then a 4th box which has got something else in it. So we'll come back to that. What are these? Right, okay. Right, I remember now. I'm remembering. Spellcrow are very good, and they said, would you like to review some stuff? And I said, I'll have a look on your website. And they said, well, can I have these? And I was a bit like a child in a sweet shop picking things. And they said, yeah, sure, here you go. So now it's coming back to me. Right, first up we have the Shock Troops. And I really wanted to look at these because these are futuristic infantry, which I thought would be rather suitable for heresy gaming and representing troops in a militia list. So I was very keen to look at these. Right, there you go. Here are all the bits. So firstly, Shock Troops. I haven't got a photo. Maybe I'll flash a photo up on the screen now so you can see them. But this is a kit of 10. Yes, there is 10. And they're not too complex as far as models go. The parts were listed on the website, and what I've got here is consistent with that. It's a set of legs, a torso with a ready molded on gun, and a head. So relatively easy to assemble at the cost of multi-posability, I suppose. Let's take a look at some bits. I think these are just like the general shock troops. Yeah, they're wearing like combat fatigues with a bit of armour. We've got some pouches on the belts with some grenades and other webbing. They're very clean casts, and I'm struggling to see any mold lines to remove either. Let's look at some more. Yeah, as I was saying, I think these cost about €20. So they're actually, for 10 dudes, and given that the resin miniatures as well, they're not bad at all. There's a bit of a mold line to remove there. Yeah, I can see there's a little bits of cleanup here and there, but off the bat they look really rather good, I think. I was just talking with a friend today about militia forces, and they were going down the 3D printer route, and we might have something to look at on 3D printing in the future on channel Leakycheese. But the advantage obviously with resin models is you don't have to make your own, and they tend to be cheaper. These certainly are. So let's take a look at the bodies. It would appear, so we've got 5 sets of legs, get a set of 10 bases as well, which are roughly speaking in the 40k style, so 25mm bases. In terms of the arms, okay, I don't know, are these all the same? Okay, they're a little bit different. Right, did I just see? Yeah, I think they're a little bit different. So I thought these rifles here will make great militia rifles or something equivalent. Las guns, las rifles, whatever. Again, these look pretty clean casts. These ends are quite delicate. Well, they're definitely clean casts, although you would always wash them. There's very little release agent on them. But I think they've got some variety in the poses there. So you get 5 sets, and I presume they're the same. Yeah, that's right. Right, I think I just noticed something. So let's take a look at these next 5. So on this one here, there's been a little bit of a moulding defect there. And we're missing part of the end of the gun. Whereas the others look to be okay. Yeah, just this guy. That's missing a bit there. There's a bit of cleanup to do there on the end. The mould seam wise, they look very good. Bit of a shame that end's missing, but otherwise those look really, yeah, very smart castings. I mean, I've had the opportunity to look at a lot of Spellcrow models over the last few years, and the castings are always very clean and generally very little clean-up work required. So we have the heads for the shock troopers. I mean, these are very generic. They would certainly fit with a force of futuristic troops from broken planets, perhaps, or indeed, you know, whatever you fancied them to be. And the fact that they've got separate heads means that you could put your own heads on as well. I do like those. As I say, for €20 for resin models, at €2 a pop in effect. Obviously, you've got postage and other stuff on top of that, but that's pretty good price, I think. It's just a shame that one of those gun barrels has been slightly miscast there. Right, so that's the shock troopers. Next, we have entrance to a ruined temple. So this is a piece of terrain. Now, how does it go? Ah, there you go. So it goes like that. So this is, it's just like 2 pieces. And it's designed to go together like so to form a wrecked and ruined temple entrance. So that looks rather nice. Casting wise, a little bit mold seam there. A bit more along here. Otherwise, that's absolutely spot on with this one. Probably a little bit of cleanup to do where the mold's joined. You can see a little bit there again. We got a little bit more work to do there, but very good, and less work required on something like that to get it perfect for painting than you would have a plastic model where you've always got mold line to remove or mold seam to remove around the whole thing. So there we go. So that is the ruined temple entrance. Those of you who've read heresy books, you might see a little link here between Broken Planet Troopers and temples and ruins. Points in the comments if you know what I'm on about. And sticking with the theme of temples, we have a corner of a ruined temple. I think these boxes are new. These boxes new? I've not seen them before. I remember large clamshells. Maybe it's to get rid of plastic packaging. So, this is really neat. I think it's supposed to go something like that. And as it says, you then have a corner of a ruined temple. And I imagine you could perhaps create something a bit like that. And if you then get it in camera shot, it's even better. Yeah, great. Let's just have a look at the casting quality on that one. So I went a bit excited then and started making little setups. So, what do we have to do here? You can see there's a mold seam running around in here. And a little bit to remove along there. Yeah, this is a bit more prominent here. That's definitely needs cleaning up properly, otherwise it's going to spoil the lovely detailing effects on the stones. And that needs cutting out there. If you've got micro chisels, this is where micro chisels are really great for taking out bits like that. There's a bit of a slip there, a bit of a mold slip on the inside of this window. And that kind of goes all the way around, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, if that was on the leg of a model, like a miniature, I'd probably be a bit more annoyed by that. But as it's a building, you've got more freedom in cleaning it up. You can see here as well. So there's definitely more cleanup to do on this one than the last. But still, overall, it's a really nice piece of terrain. And the two going together, I suppose if you're really keen, you could buy 4 of those, and then you've got 4 corners of a ruin, a couple of those to do bits in between them, and then you kind of like got the ruins of the overall floor plan. Excellent. Right, so let's move into some of the blisters. We've got kind of like about 6 themes to go through now, and we're going to start with Space Knights. And well, more specifically, we have Space Knights hammers with hands. So hammers with hands, yes. If you have a force of Space Knights or perhaps Interstellar Mariner troops, these are just the right sort of components to customize your miniatures with. So, how do they look like? Not bad. I mean, the design's neat. As all resin weapons like this are, yeah, not too bad, because it's got that cable, but it might be worthy of a bit of wire reinforcement. In terms of looking at them, these are a bit slippy. There's quite a lot of cleanup work to do on those. Yeah, certainly quite a lot on there. More than I would really like to see. What about the second sprue? This is better. Yeah, it's better, that one. That's pretty good, that one. Cool designs. And all these, so many different designs of hammers for the Space Knights. That's cool. That's just a bit slippy, that. So quite a lot of cleanup to do on that one. Right, now let's move on to, well, these guys here, which are the Space Knights eviscerate weapons with arms. And I don't know, if you were princes of the time between sunset and sunrise, these glaives with chains. Could be, I was thinking these could be rather neat. This is kind of like I think this is like a bit of a full kit, this one. So you get the double-headed glaive staff. And then you can see obviously there's quite a lot of chainswordy hackiness, and you can certainly imagine characters or elite assault troops armed with these. A bit of seamage to remove on that one. So the teeth, that's going to take a fair bit of cleanup there. Although it does appear to be flash as opposed to a slip. And then you also, in this set, you also get the arms, which you can see thusly. And you can then attach these to the torso of the Interstellar Mariner warrior and then fit them with the double-headed chain staff weapon. Yeah, do like those, not bad. Bit of cleanup there. Fair bit, but mainly flash, that's not too bad. Right, and sticking with the princes of the time between sunset and sunrise, we have another packet, which is the double saw weapons. Now, I think to all intents and purposes, this is very similar to the eviscerate weapons, but they just don't come with arms. So if you've already got your arms, you're sorted. Yeah, they're pretty much there, yeah. Maybe the eviscerate is a little bit bigger. In this set, you just get 5. They all seem to be the same design. And you get, oh, one interesting difference. These come with one hand on them, whereas those have got the double hands. So it's a posal thing. So if you had assault troops armed with, say, one of these and a pistol, that would work quite well. So looking at the casting quality on these, they seem to be fairly consistent with the first eviscerate weapon set, where we had, yeah, there's definitely a flash line running around it. Oh, yeah, that's going to take some painstaking cleanup. But it's not slipped. So fundamentally it's a good cast, but I want to get all the flash out of those teeth. Perhaps, maybe someone might be able to model it to look like the remains of their victims. I don't know. Thoughts in the comments, please. Now let's move on to, let's now move on to the Repto-Amphibians. That's right, yes. I know you've all been missing Repto-Amphibians. It's been a while since we've done any Repto-Amphibians on channel Leakycheese. But yes, here we go, the Salamander Walker upgrade. We all know that really the salamanders are the Repto-Amphibian mariner space warriors. And if you happen to own one of their naught dreading battle walkers, you can take it and you can give it a set of nice accessories, such as these Repto-Amphibian feet, a sarcophagus cask door, complete with skin effects, and then a tabard, a banner with an impressive space knight hammer on it, a Repto-Amphibian skull, or well, perhaps this is a bit fresher than a skull, and then a pair of pauldrons as well, all in the style of Repto-Amphibians. So that's really nice, that. And casting wise, there's a little bit of cleanup here. But overall, that looks really neat. Yeah, so there you go. Repto-Amphibian Walker upgrade. Let's move on with the Reptos to the Salamander Knights Heavy Large Shields. A bit more Repto-Amphibian fun. They're going to absolutely kill me at Spellcrow for calling them their Salamanders Repto-Amphibians. Right, what do we have? What do we have? Oops, firstly we want to get that back in shot. Add cheese. And there you go. These are really cool. Got a variety of Repto-Amphibian visages and the skin of one of these mighty beasts as well on these shields. So if you have Interstellar Mariner troops for breaching duties, these could be great accessories to introduce more character to them. Yeah. Excellent detailing. Got a bit of cleanup to do around the edges of these. Not too shabby there. Not too shabby at all. And one final foray into the realm of the Repto. We have... Salamandra hammers with hands. There you go. So, yeah, some very in-theme Repto-Amphibian heavy assault weapons here. Look at the texturing on that. Good, that. And one of them, the head of the hammer, is actually the Repto-Amphibian skull. Can't get more salamander than that, can you? Casting wise, again, it seems to be consistent. There's a bit of a seamed cleanup around these, a bit edging onto a little bit, putting a toe into the realm of the slip. But for me, that would clean up okay with some work. Right, okay, next, what should we do? Let's do the general human bits. So we first have human heads. Thinking about the shock troops we looked at a few minutes ago, if you wanted to give those shock troops a slightly different flavour, you could give them some human heads. You can see we've got a variety of 80s power haircuts. There are actually 10. The one's just popped off. There it is. They're quite meat cakey, these guys do. Would those human heads fit? Yeah, that would. Sorry if the light's a bit dark. I hope this is going to clean up okay in post-production, otherwise Spellcrow are going to double kill me. And casting quality-wise, they all look very good. Happy with those? Moving on, sticking with human heads, we've got this is a rather neat pack, which is guards' heads in gas masks. And if we all know of the themes of the Legion of War, the Morte Legion of War. And if you fancied doing something on those lines, you can get these rather neat heads equipped with gas masks. Or, as they are known in British army circles at least, respirators. Assuming it's a straight translation from one to the other. But I think it is, because a gas mask in army terms is actually a closed-circuit breathing system of some form. The respirator is where you're breathing through a filter and breathe out again. And you get a bonus skull as well. Because, skulls, they're equipped with a sort of characteristic helmet style. They might look a little bit out of place on those shock troops, given their general style, but still, I'm probably imagining those might go on other models, other styles of models rather well. Right. One more thing before we move into the miscellany, which is the cyber spider legs. So if you like scuttling around on apparatus of the Omnissiah, this is a good way to show it, particularly if you're modelling a magi of the machine god. Essentially, what this happens is you've got 6 legs, a body, and a couple of exhaust stacks, and you somehow glue it together, and you've got a scuttle body. So I guess the legs go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they go in these gaps. Cleanup-wise, there's definitely some cleanup to do on these. Yeah, you can see that's probably going to take quite a bit of doing. But if you were wanting to do a baby version of, say, Anacaris scoria of the Dark Mechanicum, or the Zana Forge World, which then became the Dark Mechanicum, this little kit could be quite good. Yeah, that's neat, that. Definitely quite a bit of cleanup to do on those legs in places. Yeah, you can see there. That'll keep you busy for a couple of hours. Still, nothing terrible though. Nothing terrible. Right, The next thing is kind of like the miscellany, and this is just a few little accessories which caught my eye. So let's go with the least strange first, which is this, and it is troops' personal equipment. So this is just a set of accessories for infantry models, really. Oh dear, so unprofessional. Bits everywhere. So what do we get? We get grenades, like smoke grenade types, perhaps armor-piercing grenade types, fragmentation grenade types, a pair of image intensifiers or rangefinders, two little funny things, maybe pouches, yeah, pouches, and then get the same again. I really like those. So great for accessorizing, your shock troops, but indeed any miniatures, including interstellar mariner troops. These would look great on them. What do we have now? It is time for the faith department. Those of you who follow me on this channel, and particularly on Instagram and Twitter, will know that I've been working on a Word Bearers project for the last 18 months or so. And we have a librarian set. And I've got two of these actually, so we'll just look at one. I don't know why, I must have put two. Oh dear. Sorry, Spellcrow. Should have probably just asked for one there. These really caught my eye because I was looking for books earlier in the year when I was building my Castroferum Dreadnought. And if you're a word bearer collector and you need some tomes, well, these are rather good. Tomes of the Truth, or perhaps Hidden Knowledge. Ooh, bonus skulls again. It's Larry and Harry. Do be careful when opening books. Some of them may bite. And then in addition to that, if you're still wanting to boost your faith further, now we're really into the primordial section of this pack. Yes, this definitely is not a Necronomicon. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, something up here. And some candles of faith, and a couple more skulls. Lorgar would be proud. A neat accessory set, and particularly good for word bearers. I'm sure you can imagine a variety of dark and grim applications for those parts. We are nearly done now. Okay, we'll do... I've got one more sensible thing, which is this. And I saw this, and I thought this was a rather neat thing. Pavement. So this is just a single cast piece of resin pavement. I think the idea is to basically cut it, well, you could just use it as a whole chunk, but you could cut it into smaller sections for doing base details. There you go. And it is really as simple as that. It's these lovely cobbles, and it's very nicely textured. Absolutely no cleanup work to do with this because the seam goes right around the edge. And that's really good, that. Can you imagine cutting sections of this out to do texture on models, or you could even take it and build a whole little scene for a miniature. Given the texture of that, some painting effects, that could really come to life. Excellent, so that's the pavement. Now for something a bit more fun. Moving into the daft section of this review, we have the Disco Knights heads. Oh yeah, Disco Knights, so Disco Interstellar Mariner Knights heads. As I was going through the Space Knights section for bits to review, as I saw these guys and I thought, got to have a look at, just got to get some of these to review. So these are the Disco Knights. And they've got some really great hair going on and some impressive tashes, as does this skull. And if you're ever going to have an interstellar mariner warrior, ask for a royale with cheese. This is a head that you'd want on that model to do it. Excellent. Quirky. Not something that most miniature companies ever do anything like that, so I do like that. And we're going to finish on something most quaint and charming, a mushroom set. And not just any mushroom set, oh no. A 108-piece mushroom set. This is the fungus. Fantastic. So we shall get the kniff of opening. Oh my word, I mean, it's just like gazillions of mushrooms. I mean, I don't know if I can really... Are you going to unsubscribe if I make you look at all 108 mushrooms? I think what I'm going to do, in the interests of not over-silying this, I'm just going to look at a few. So here we go. These are very rugose. Yes, rugose mushrooms. The word rugose is very good. I remember it from my days at university and geology. So we have the rugose mushrooms. We have the mignon mushrooms, I think I'm going to call this group, because they are small. They are small and delightful. And as well as like your classic cup-headed mushrooms and fungus, we have some sort of like flange mushrooms, which the sort of mushroom that grows from the side of a tree, particularly a dead tree. Flange mushrooms are also good. Hey. I wonder if there's a puffball in here somewhere. Oh, we have a bag of puffballs. This set of mushrooms has just got awesome. I mean, I suppose what I could have really done is we could have just looked on the box, but you know, I'm trying to show you the miniatures here. So that's my line and I'm sticking to it. Right, there you go. Puffball mushrooms. I think this is the first for me to see a set. I mean, you're probably going to tell me in the comments, you know, XYZ, they've been available for ages, but, you know, this is my first time with puffball mushrooms in a miniature set. I'm excited. Right, are there other types? Yes, there are. So we've done rugose, we've done the mignon. We could do what I'm going to call... Oh, we've got two more types. We're going to do the bulbosity variant. What would you call these nodules? Nodular, there you go. Nodular fungus. So this is almost like where you've got maybe a dead bit of wood or something and it appears that the fungus is growing from it. If you're a collector of the Jolly Father powers of the primordial truth, these little things could be really neat accessories for your bases. And finally, we've got what we just might call the quirky and the funny set. I think you get two of everything, it would appear. I'm not 100% sure. I'll come back to that in a second. So we have multi-shroom, bigger multi-shroom, and triple multi-shroom. Mini shrooms, medium shrooms. I wonder which of these are safe to eat. Then we have some rugose shrooms. We have some pointy ones, death cap mushrooms, and deadly nightshade. Yeah, so these definitely, I think these ones here definitely the don't eats. They look quite hazardous. Let's see if we can donate how many you get. Unique pieces for bases and scenery. It doesn't say if you get double. It looks like you might get two of everything, but don't quote me on that. So apologies, Spellcrow, if I got that wrong. But nonetheless, a fascinating accessory set. So I'm almost out of power on my camera, so I really need to wrap this up. I hope you found this an interesting overview of a varied and curious and fascinating set of accessories that have been sent to me for review by Spellcrow. I'll leave a link to Spellcrow's website in the description. Do check them out if you're looking for accessories for your futuristic or fantasy or just otherwise miniature modelling projects. As always, please do share your thoughts and observations in the comments. Are you part of Team Knobbly Mushroom or Team Rugose Mushroom? Or perhaps you're a left of centre type of person and you're on Squad Puffball? Do share those thoughts in the comment section. But other than that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you next time, and goodbye.